Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekend update. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to jump into the Dow, and then I'm going to go over some of my favorite setups for the upcoming week. This past week, despite it being a quasi-vacation week, ended up being fantastic for the swings. And the action out there, as I continue to say, this is one of the best swing markets I have seen in 20 plus years in small caps. It's just a phenomenal swing market right now. But let's jump in and look at the Dow. So we're looking at the 1 hour chart here on the Dow. And you can see I've got this little downtrend lined in place. And essentially, we are held captive by the silliness in Washington, D.C. Deal, no deal, deal, no deal, as we expected was going to happen. Now, on this 15-minute chart, what I want you to look at, if we're going to scroll down here, this is the stochastics indicator. And usually when you see this kind of back and forth action, there is a big move afoot. So I'm thinking, based on some of the news flow that we're seeing this weekend, about a possible deal that it's going to be an upward bias on the market into Monday. If we look over at the daily chart now, I did not adjust this uptrend line for the Dow daily chart because I wanted to show you here the lack of, the market just doesn't know what to do right now. We are holding above the 50-day moving average. We dip briefly below it, but then the market comes back. You can see that over the last couple of days, and we've got this strong downtrend in place here. A lot of good earnings reports, but from tech stocks. The market should have been down 500 plus points on Friday at one stage, which would have brought an avalanche of selling. But for Apple, that was up 26. They blew out their earnings report because, hey, everyone who got their stimulus checks, instead of sticking it in their bank account, hey, let's go buy a $1,500 iPhone. And Apple's earnings blew up. They announced a stock split. Apple was 150 of the points that we saw in the Dow at one point on Friday. But for this week, again, we're going to be held captive by what happens in Washington, whether or not we get a deal on how that deal is. So while this indecision happens, we're seeing excellent action in the small cap stocks. Before we move on, I wanted to bring up the QQQ chart. This is the tech heavy stocks. One little bit of worry is, despite the fantastic earnings that we saw in the tech stocks on Friday, Thursday into Friday, they gave up a lot of their gains. So we need to see some follow through on this on Monday. Why do we care what the large cap techs do? Large cap techs have been holding this market up. It's the speculative segment of the market, and when these stocks do well, the small stocks do well. So we're still in this bearish rising wedge here. Again, it all depends. News can change anything on a dime, especially when it comes to the stimulus plan. The market, surprisingly, has not done a temper tantrum yet. So I think that if we do not get a deal in the first couple of days this week, we're going to have to see the market dip pretty decently to make Washington come to the table and deal. But anyway, let's jump into some stock plays. iZEA. We got into this one a few days ago as a swing play, just based on this perfect setup on the chart. And as I've said many times, great charts always find a reason to run. And on Friday, we found that monster research on iZEA. TikTok. Need I say more? iZEA is doing a webinar on TikTok this upcoming week. Wow. I've been looking for a TikTok sympathy play for the last several months, and lo and behold, this one has fallen into our lap with a fantastic chart setup. I will be looking to buy any dips on this one. Now, there's chatter about the president banning TikTok from the U.S. because of espionage concerns and tracking our kids, etc. Microsoft is supposedly in talks to buy the U.S. division. If that gives any sort of weakness on this stock, I would be looking to buy it. 120, 230 area is an excellent pickup spot for this stock if they give it. RSI looks great. We got that positive MACD cross on Friday. We've got a strong uptrend in stochastics. TikTok, need I say more? You can see on this chart the potential upside on this stock. The webinar is coming up this week. This is a fantastic play. And as I said, right now, this is my largest swing play because I love the chart and I love the TikTok angle. ADMP, right here, we're looking at the 1 hour chart on this ADMP chart. And you can see we've again gone into a nice little tight consolidation. The last time we had a similar setup, the stock went big, and we can see MACD is oversold, as is stochastic. So looking at this chart here, I would be very surprised if we do not see a 151 test in the coming days on this chart. Hopefully we finally get that press release out of these guys. Looking at the weekly chart here, we've already met our first objective of that 144 this past week. The next target would be way up here at the 200-day moving average, but let's shoot for 157 to 75 in the next few days. Again, waiting for news that we know is coming. These are some of the easiest swing plays we can hop into. DSS, this is another COVID-19 setup. We continue to hug this 50 and 200-day moving average, waiting for that merger vote. Now, we know that DSS, I've gone over this many, many times, they're buying a COVID-19 vaccine stock. A lot of the news that comes out that's really, really good and has blown up other COVID-19 stocks. These guys have similar news as those, but most people do not know what they are doing. When the press releases start flowing under the DSS symbol, we're looking at a potentially nice upside, especially on this chart back and forth. And here around the 750, 775 area looks like a good buy. And then breakout would be a close over both these moving average. I would probably say close over 850 is going to really put this one on the radar for a move back up to the upper part of this channel. JAGX, again, another large position. We're waiting on an update on their drug that is being tested for COVID-19 symptoms. Again, we've got a golden cross, probably is still about a week away, but the stock is holding up above the 200-day moving average, and that is excellent. Now, buy just below it. It's ranging nicely daily. What's it going to take to break this stock out? A move over probably 80 cents is when you're going to start to see guys go, okay, time for me to chase this one finally. It's in the breakout mode for a move over a buck. RSI's come back down. All the indicators, you know, it's in. If I drew something here, it would be a flag. So we're just stuck in this flag formation right now. It's probably going to take that press release to launch this one up. Quick mention on OGEN. OGEN is trending very, very nicely here. Tried to break over. This is the 1 hour chart, the 50-day moving average on Friday, and then came right back down. This is an excellent pickup right now. It looks like this has been a very, very strong uptrend line for the month on the 1 hour time frame. So anything 115-ish on under seems to be an excellent add spot on this stock. It's probably going to take a break or a close above 125. We'll probably see chasers at 130, looking for that move to 150, 175 plus. But the chart, 1 hour chart, looks very, very good on all the indicators for a nice little move this week. Pivoting to our other very strong sector, online education, Salami here, SALM, is sitting here waiting for a move. Now, a week ago, we had that huge pop. This is where the FOMO rooms were chasing up here, and then it's been a slow bleed back down with a couple of nice pops. We know that these guys have teacher tube, but a lot of people don't know that. So if this company gets smart and does any sort of press release update on teacher tube, especially with school districts left and right rotating to online education, this price up here will probably be a distant memory on a press release like that. So it's just a matter of sitting and waiting. The other player in this segment is PHUN, PHUN. Now, like I've alluded to many times, this is probably one of the most manipulated stocks we've seen other than CSLT when it comes to stocks in the $1 area. Highly manipulated stocks by the robot programs like PHUN. When they break out, they tend to break out big. So we've got a nice little consolidation here. What would the break be? Probably 170 plus is where you're going to start seeing these computer programs go, okay, it's broken the range, and 180 the FOMO start coming in. Again, we've got some nice upside on this one. The indicators look good. We're just in chill mode. This one has very, very strong support. Picking anything, anything above this 50-day moving average, so 135 to 42 daily seems to be a nice pick up for a daily range move. A stock that was highly manipulated, that had a similar back and forth tight action, was Mark. You remember Mark a few months ago when we were playing that one, it would go from 33 to 42 cents over and over and over again before it finally launched. Similar kind of setup here on PHUN. CHFS. This is the weekly chart. I'm just showing you this weekly chart to explain why we had this pullback after the move. It got all the way up and touched 99 cents, and then they brought it back down. Remember, these guys need to get above $1. It's just doing a little consolidation here. You can see this on the 1 hour chart. We've got this nice triangle set up. These guys are very motivated to get their stock over $1. They have not issued that press release that we know is coming. When they did the tweet on it, that's why we had that big pop. So we know that press release is coming. They probably got a lot of press releases lined up. This next move over 88 to 90 cents is probably going to be the money move where we see that push over $1. So keep a close eye on this one this week. DPW, remember when I talked on this video last Sunday how everyone was panic selling a filing after hours on Friday, gave an excellent pickup at the 240s, and lo and behold, by the 5 days later, whoop, all the way up here at 317. Now this is another very manipulated stock. We're actually going to look at the daily chart here. This is what this stock does. This is what manipulated stocks do when they're finally freed. Where is freedom on this one? Probably 320 and a press release. The EV charging stocks have just been on fire. Blink, that we could not give away when I did that alert on that stock a couple of months ago in June at $1.6075. They were chasing that at $14 this week. These guys have an EV division. They've got lots of fingers in lots of pots right now. So this one, probably 255 to 60-ish, looks like a very good pickup move as we wait for the breakout on this stock. Quick mention on SCON. SCON had a nice little pop early in the week and came back down. Now you can see here, this is a chart that when it gets this set up, you can see here, it gives a nice little pop. So where's the next pop going to come? 55, 56 cents is going to be freedom on this one, and we probably see a move up to 75 cents when it happens. But this chart is setting up for a very nice move in the near term. Anything on a dip in the mid to upper 40s looks like a very nice pickup. You can see here, going back to April, this support line is super, super strong. So anytime you see this one pull back to the support line, it's probably going to make for a nice little pickup position for the inevitable bounce and break here. ZSAN. Now, we got into this one a week or so ago, had the pop up to $1 and then came right back down. Now, the thing with swing plays is, when I jump into a swing play, there's solid research behind it, and it's got a nice chart setup. And sometimes, even though they'll pop, they'll come back down and give multiple entries. Remember, this is a micro needle stock. They've got COVID-19 all over the website where they're looking to partner up with vaccine makers. The U.S. is going to be giving big-time contracts for needles and syringes. We had that first initial pop, finally, the last 2 days, and then we got halted by this 200-day moving average. This is going to be one of these stocks that we're going to be trading as it consolidates above the 200-day moving average. So with that in mind, any pullbacks to the mid 80s to the low 90s should make for an excellent pickup for those swing shares for the inevitable, looking at this chart, push. Now, press release, all bets are off. We'll probably see them chasing it up here. That's just the nature of this market right now. The last stock I want to mention is Supercom, SPCB. These guys do the ankle tracers. Contact tracing is big right now. Google's talking about how a lot of companies are looking to do contact tracing, and these guys are a big player in it. It's all the way back to this super strong support area. Where's freedom going to be? Probably a push and close above the 50-day. That's 154. I would be looking to buy anything around 125 to 135. Looks like a nice pickup and wait position. We've got RSI upticking. Check out MACD. We're going to have a MACD, positive MACD cross this weekend. And I just threw this in here. We've got a downtrend on stochastics. But the way this chart's set up, this chart tells me it's probably got a move coming in the near term. Now, the last stock I'm going to talk about, INUV. Now, this stock goes hand in hand with IZEA advertising stock. We still have this super strong uptrend. We've got that offering out of the way. The next break is probably 65, 66 cents. It keeps getting up there and getting rebuffed. So hopefully we'll get a press release to launch this one. But again, like I've said many, many times, when coming into 2020, I had two top plays for this year. One of them was UAVS, that's already gone on a massive move, and the other one was INUV. So we're sitting patiently waiting on this one for that inevitable move over $1. These guys are AI advertising. You're going to start to see a lot of chatter about that. It's a hot sector going forward. Super undervalued. I think it's going to be a matter of when, not if, especially with IZEA looking to rock and roll in the coming week. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Please subscribe to my video if you've not already. Please share it as much as you want, and I will see you guys all in the chat room Monday. Bye.